Honda's CRF250RX. I rode one of these beasts every day for 5 weeks, so got to know it really well. And while I'm more of a slow technical rider, we also had Megs Braap, a Canadian pro racer, and opinions from various everyday riders as well. So let's look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's really important to note where this bike slots into the big scheme of things. It's what is commonly known as a cross-country racer or GNCC racer. Essentially, it's Honda's motocross bike, but with a larger fuel tank, softer suspension, 18-inch rear wheel, O-ring chain, slightly detuned, a 3-way mapping switch, and a kickstand. Let's start with the positives. Like pretty much any Honda, it's bulletproof. The Traction eRag had 5 of these bikes in a fleet of 20 that were hammered every day over 6 weeks. Not a single mechanical issue of any kind, except when someone crashed and broke something. Reliability is always a huge plus with Honda. The RX is light and flickable at only 110 kilograms fully fueled. Coming off a 2-stroke, I was expecting it to feel heavier, or at least top heavy, but it was easy to throw around and yet stable at speed as well. The engine, very linear power, even on the aggressive mapping. Honda claimed 38 horsepower at around 12,000 revs, way more than I needed. I doubt I even got close to the rev limiter. Compared to an Enduro 250 model, the bottom end power is fairly weak, but then it's tuned for racing, so no real complaints there. And the narrow ratio gearbox makes it very easy to keep on the boil for aggressive riding. Our pro rider, Ben, punched out lap after lap, getting some ridiculously fast lap times compared to us. Every time I asked him what he thought, he just grinned ear to ear. 0 complaints. Ditto for Megs Braap. Me, I had a hoot pushing it on the test track, but as regular viewers will know, I'm more into the slow technical stuff, so the suspension did start to feel quite harsh at lower speeds. First gear felt way too high, and it just felt like I was changing gears way too often, but more on that shortly. Okay, the issues and problems, what didn't we like? First, I scoured online for long-term complaints from other owners. All I could find was a handful of guys saying they fitted fans to avoid overheating. But the majority of riders said it was never an issue. It certainly wasn't for us over the entire Canadian summer. The only issues I could pick really were if you bought the bike for the wrong reason. The Honda is definitely set up well for cross-country racing, but if you focus more on just everyday dirt riding, you start to hit issues. The suspension works great when riding aggressively, but just cruising around it does start to feel harsh. And that narrow range gearbox, in slow gnarly terrain, first gear feels way too high, and yet the bike is revving its tits off on transport sections. Initially I was stalling the bike all over the place in harder terrain until I started to slip the clutch a lot and keep the revs up. The lack of bottom end and a tall first gear were not fun. And to make things worse, the cable clutch takes up very quickly and works the hand a lot more than the European hydraulic clutches I am used to. But these aren't really complaints, it's more about just realising the purpose of this bike. Let's go back to our diagram. Now, Yamaha does make a proper enduro model, the WR250F. Sure, it won't be as fast as the RX, but it makes a very sweet enduro bike. I think the only problems emerging are when you expect this CRF250RX to behave like an enduro bike. Mind you, if you are a fast, aggressive enduro rider, you will probably find it still works well. But most of us everyday trail hacks and muppets would probably find a true enduro bike suits us better. Very keen to hear your opinions if you own this bike or have ridden one. And also a few years back I did review 3 of Yamaha's 254 strokes. It's probably still quite a relevant video today. Catch you later.